And we also love our new guest. Joining us right now is Kaitlyn Facista. She is the founder of Tea with Tolkien, the Tea with Tolkien community, and the author of Into the Heart of Middle-earth, Exploring Faith and Fellowship in J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. Great, great series. Thank you so much, Kaitlyn, for joining us. It's great to be with you.
Thank you. This is so wonderful, and I hope you all are having a great Easter as well.
So far, so good. I got the book right in my hands. And, you know, our viewers run the gamut as far as familiarity with Tolkien's work. So some of the books have been read, others have been only seen in the movies. Some people have neither read nor seen the movie. So can you tell us why Tolkien is such an influential writer for Catholics? And describe what Middle-earth is, would you?
Of course, Middle-earth is the fantasy world in which The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit are set. So you have this world created by J.R.R. Tolkien, and he was a very devout Catholic, and a lot of people don't know this, but his family converted to Catholicism when he was very young, and this faith really anchored him through all of his life. And while he did not write The Lord of the Rings as an allegory, he wove his own faith into the foundations of Middle-earth. He called it a fundamentally Catholic story. And this isn't meaning that he wanted it to become something as a means of evangelizing necessarily, but that it's integral to the way that he created the world. It's foundational. It's woven into the very fibers of Middle-earth.
That's wonderful. Well, bring us into that world. Can you give us an example of how Tolkien's Catholic faith inspired a particular character or a scene in The Lord of the Rings?
Absolutely. I would say it's difficult even to pinpoint just one because there are so many, but the way that Tolkien's heroes are so reminiscent of Christ in many different ways. You have the character of Aragorn, who is kingly. He kind of represents, in a sense, Christ's kingship. And then you have other characters who represent Christ's sacrifice, like the character Frodo, who's a hobbit. He's the one who will carry the ring to Mount Doom. And the ring itself can be seen, of course, not as an allegory, but as a manifestation of sin, the way that sin it kind of possesses you as you possess it. And the way that it's subtle, the way that it works slowly, and the way that it draws you farther away from your own purpose.
You know, I have to admit, I have only read The Hobbit. So I'm one of those people that has read, you know, just one of the books, but have seen all the movies. But in your book, which I have right in my hands, is this meant to be used by someone kind of alongside reading Lord of the Rings, or should they wait till they've finished everything?
I would say either one, whatever you're comfortable with.
All right.
A lot of people who have seen the movies have this kind of, you know, if you have a general grasp of the story, I think you'd be all set to read the book. I also have an appendix at the back of the book that does summarize the three major Tolkien works, The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, and The Silmarillion. So anyone who is unfamiliar with those but still wants to dive deeper into Middle-earth, I think they should be all set with that.
Gotcha.
Amazing. And here at Catholic TV, actually, our patroness is Saint Thérèse of Lisieux. And you talk about her in your book. So I'd love to hear about Tolkien's connection to her.
Absolutely. Now, there's no evidence or proof that Tolkien was inspired by her, but what I love about the spirituality of Saint Thérèse is she embraces this smallness and this humility and this complete trust in providence, and you really see that shining through in the stories of Tolkien's Hobbits. It's through the smallest, the most unlikely characters that great deeds are done. And it's a big theme throughout Tolkien's works that the minds of the great are busy, they're preoccupied, they're grasping for power. And this responsibility falls to the hands of the small in order to kind of essentially save the world. And even though Saint Thérèse of Lisieux never left her convent, she's the patron saint of missions. And you can see that kind of coming through in Tolkien's works in the way that these small and unlikely heroes have a really big role to play.
I should have asked you first, is this the first book that you've written?
I have self-published a book a long time ago, but that was it was not a big deal. This is my first real book.
Well, congratulations. And I know Ave Maria Press is great to work with. I hope you found that to be the case as well. And
Absolutely.
later in the show, we're actually going to have a giveaway of your book, Into the Heart of Middle-earth, Exploring Faith and Fellowship in J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. For those who don't win, however, Kaitlyn, where can they get a copy?
They can find all of the links to different retailers on my website, teawithtolkien.com/book. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, the Ave Maria Press website, and as well as some other retailers. So I have all of the links on my website.
Outstanding.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you very, very much for spending this time with us. And we look forward to giving away the book, and I might take a peek at it before we send it out to the winner. Kaitlyn, thank you so
That's
much.
wonderful.
God bless you. Congratulations on the book, and I hope it goes very well for you.
Thank you so much.
All right, and happy Easter.
Thank you, you too.